Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to Soulful Sessions with Rory, the podcast where we dive deep inside the matters of the heart, mind, and spirit. And I am your host, Rory. And I am thrilled to embark on this soulful journey with each and every one of you. Soulful Sessions with Rory is your safe space for introspection, inspiration, and maybe even a little revelation. Whether you're sipping your morning coffee or winding down after a long day or just seeking a moment of connection, you're in the right place. Before we dive into today's soulful exploration, I want to remind you that Soulful Sessions with Rory is designed for entertainment purposes only. While we may touch on profound topics and meaningful discussions, it's important to approach our conversations with an open heart and a sense of curiosity. Life is a journey, and so is this podcast. We'll navigate the realms of self-discovery, spirituality, and personal growth. But remember, the insights we share here are not a substitute for professional advice or guidance. Always consult with the appropriate professionals regarding your unique circumstances. So whether you're a seasoned seeker or just dipping your toes into the waters of self-exploration, get ready for a blend of wisdom, laughter, and a touch of magic in each episode of Soulful Sessions with Rory. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a soulful moment. Follow me on social media on IG at Soulful Explorer, Facebook, Listening Veteran Life Coach, and Snapchat, Rory space Soulful Explorer, with 2 L's to stay connected. Share your thoughts and be a part of this incredible community. Now let the journey begin. Sit back, relax, and let's fill our souls together. So today's topic is, why wouldn't they commit to you? Now, when you talk about relationships, it's easy to say, well, men are cheaters, women are cheaters. Nobody's loyal. All of these things, you hear it all the time. And while we're on that subject, I am one of those people that hate the term high value, low value. Not because of anything other than it's judgment. It's pure judgment, and it's based off your own perception. Like for me, I think a high value woman is one that we're not going to talk about me. But let's just say my opinion on what high value and low value is different. But when you put yourself in the category of trying to figure out what your value is based off someone else's belief system, I think that's where we have a problem. People commit to relationships for various reasons. In the dating stage, first you have to identify what is dating. And when you're dating over 40, there are so many pitfalls to dating over 40. And if you're not aware of those pitfalls, just as a man dating over 40, you have a limited social circle. So you don't see a lot of men hanging with a bunch of people, over 40, over 50, unless they are the type that go out, they go club, they go do things like that. So there's not a real social group. People tend to create their social groups online now. And so that's the social group that they have. The other thing is the online dating challenges, trying to navigate through a dating platform, trying to figure out, what this is. And then you got to remember all this before you even get to the commitment stage. And let's talk about health issues. The older you get, the more problems you have. I'm telling you, I could get out the bed and a joint hurt for no reason, I remember just this year I was exercising every single day. And then, one of my joints was just like, hey, look, I'm going to stop working. You've been doing a lot and I want to give you a break. Give you a break. Yeah. So, and that's something else. And that's looking at your partner too, who's over 40, back issues, weight issues, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, always sluggish, or always super alert because they popping some kind of pill to keep them going. It's a variety of things, different life changes, like you might have just gotten fired from a job, hired to a job. You might have just started your own business. I mean, there's so many different things that you could have done, and you're dating, trying to get people to understand where you are in this phase of your life. Your children could just be graduating from high school, going into college, graduating from college, coming back home, going into the military, coming back home. So there's so many different life stages that you could be going through right now. You could have just gotten a divorce a year ago, 2 years ago. So, there's so many things going on in addition to wanting to have this committed relationship. Past baggage, previous relationships, divorces, a loss of a spouse. And whether you realize it or not, even the death of a friend can affect your dating life, the loss of a loved one. So, because you may not be emotionally balanced to have a relationship right now. Stereotypes and stigmas, you're looking at people and judging them, or people are looking at you and judging you. She's a cashier. So if she's a cashier, she clearly couldn't have any money. Or, she's a CEO. She clearly don't have time for somebody. He is a employee at McDonald's. He clearly, can't support a family, And then that's the other thing you got to think about, is that the family dynamics are no longer the same, because the older you get, your children are older. So you may not have children in the house anymore, or that person may not have children in the house, or it's a person who just had a child in their 40s or in their 50s. And that's something else to look at. And let's talk about the pace of your life. That's something we don't really dig into. The pace of your life. There was a time when I remember my granddad used to say, and this is how he sounded, so, boy, you need to slow down, you're just going. And he was absolutely right. But now, no, I like to believe I am going slow. However, there are people that tell me, my friends, family, they say, Rory, you're always busy. Now, that's because they know the old version of me. The old version was always busy. I was always going, but now it's people's perception of me. And so I have to stop sometimes and look at my own pace. How fast am I going in life? Am I constantly moving around trying to make things happen, or am I actually stopping to smell the flowers? And it's important that you understand where you are in both of those. And I would like to believe that I stop and smell the flowers, but we know that's not always the case. So there's expectation and comparisons. So when you're dating, you have certain expectations, and you can't help but to compare it to maybe a friend, a family member, a previous relationship. I can remember dating people that said, oh, my ex was the best ever. Well, go be with his ass. So, and then she did, but that's another story. So, those are the things that you're dealing with. And then you yourself could be comparing everybody that you deal with to someone else, or to something else, or to a feeling that you're looking for. There's the fear of rejection. You can't get what you never strive for. And so a lot of people don't want to be hurt. So instead of actually taking the time to approach someone or to invest in the dating, they just say, well, I'm just going to see what happens. So going back to the original thing where I said, why wouldn't this person commit to you? Has nothing to do with you. Nothing at all. A lot of times people don't commit because of their own personal reasons. And everything that I just talked about in dating, one of those could be the reason. Whether it's somebody who's on a different track than you. I remember trying to date an older woman who basically said, we're striving for two different things. And back then I didn't understand. I'm like, I like you, you like me, what's the problem? You want to go left, I want to go left. What's the problem? Well, the problem is that a lot of things in my career I had not accomplished. And I was working as if, my life depended on it. And so what would happen is that I wouldn't give her the time that she needed. At the time, I think she was in her 40s, and I was in my 20s. And so I'm confused on what the problem is, but reality, she was winding down and I was gearing up. Now what about the age gap that's, maybe 10 years apart, 50 and 40, 50 and 60. You got to pay attention to your partner. You got to see what is it that this person is doing in their life and how does it fit into my life? Because if it doesn't fit, then you're also setting yourself up for failure. Now, the things that I listed earlier about dating really are geared towards men. And I say it's geared towards men because I think that men and women have different issues to an extent in the same area. Yeah, they might have the same challenges, but a woman's social circle is usually better than a man's. And I say better because they communicate. A lot of men don't communicate. I got male friends that I talk to on occasion. And what do we talk about? Hey, man, how you doing? And, I hate to admit it. A lot of times it's the doom and gloom, but sometimes it's uplifting and cheerful. And I'm working on that personally, as I talked about in my last episode or episode before last. It doesn't matter. So with women, they also have other people influencing them more. I don't know, just from my personal experience as a man, I will say I don't have friends telling me, hey, man, you need to do this in a relationship. In fact, if I'm being honest, I very rarely get relationship advice from my male friends. Now, female friends, they got all kind of advice, Some of them just listen. Some of them say, oh, and you should do this, and this. And let's be honest, I'm probably not going to listen to them anyway. So I can see why they don't want to give me advice. Commitment. You got to understand what is commitment to that person as well. What does it mean to be committed? Are they committing to you financially? Are they committing to you spiritually? Are they committing to you emotionally? What is commitment to that person? Because everybody has a different version. But you also got to understand, what kind of commitment are you looking for? I've known situations where somebody said, well, if you're not my man, then we're not together. Okay, I'm your man. Now, if somebody's your man and they're not doing the things that make you feel good, are they even committed? They're committed by words. And so you got to ask yourself, what's more important to you? The commitment of action or the commitment of words or the combination of both? And if it's the combination of both, how do you get it? Now, it sounds like I'm talking about men being committed to women, but it's also women being committed to men, because there are a lot of men out here who have women that are not committed to them. Now, when we speak commitment, a lot of us think about sexuality. I don't want my partner sleeping with other people. Well, some people do, but that's another topic. So you have to decide, what commitment are you looking for from your spouse? Oh, I want somebody committed to my goals, to my dreams. I want her asking me the same questions, that I would ask myself about getting up and getting motivated and things of that nature. Or I want him to be as committed to my dream and my goals as I am. So you got to understand, what kind of commitment are you looking for? I don't want him with any other women. Okay, that's one version. So if this man is committed to you and he's not with any other women, but he does absolutely nothing else, does that bring you joy? So, and a man says, oh, I want my woman to myself, no other men. Okay, she does that, but she don't do anything else. Does that bring you joy? You have to understand well, you ain't got to do nothing, but you may want to think about, what does commitment mean to you? So when you're having the conversation and saying, hey, I want a committed relationship with you, then you need to be a little more specific. I would like a relationship where we share our everyday ideas. I would like a relationship where we are engaged in each other's life choices. If you're deciding to take on a new job, I would like for you to discuss it with me. Not ask for permission, but discuss it. If you decide that you're not coming home from work, or if you decide that you're going to go hang out, I would like to be considered in that thought process. If you decide that you want to start your own business, I want to be a part of that process. Not necessarily starting the business, but, having the conversation, motivating you, encouraging you, being a part of your dream and your goals. You got to know what that commitment is. Because if you don't understand what that commitment is, especially the commitment you're desiring from somebody, then how can they give it to you? A lot of people say that, the relationship outside of husband and wife is not a real relationship because there's no commitment. Just because you say, oh, this is my girlfriend or this is my boyfriend, is that really committed? Or this is my man, or y'all live together? Is that a commitment? I used to compare being in love to the love that you have for your children, because I know most parents would be willing to die for their children. So are you willing to put yourself in harm's way for your spouse? And is that commitment? So what I'm basically saying is that the reason most people will not commit to you is because you haven't defined what commitment was. And let's say you do. Let's say you're clear cut and you do, but yet people still are not committing to you. They're probably just not for you. A commitment doesn't take forever. I'm one of those people that when you're dating, you date maybe 3-4 months and you learn more about each other. And it also depends on how much you're talking to each other, how much time you spend. Do you have the same core values, same belief systems? Do you have the same goals? And if you don't, then that's a conversation. That doesn't mean it's a deal breaker. It's a conversation. But if it's a deal breaker for you, then when the time comes, you have that conversation. In addition to that, once you get closer to the person, you start letting them know, okay, here are my goals for my life. And I like you and I want it to be like this. This is the level of commitment I see myself desiring from you. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but in the future. Can you see that even in the future? If they don't know, they just don't know. But if they do know, they should tell you. Because commitment is not just about who you're sleeping with. Commitment isn't just about whether or not you are spending time with other people or not. Commitment is deeper than that. Commitment in a relationship is the beginning to a deeper commitment, because when you get married, now you have the contractual agreement, the thing that says, hey, on paper, we're this. I'm one of those people that believe that instead of marriage, start a business. Start an LLC. Be on a board. So that way, if you get a divorce, you got to go through some stuff. That's one idea. Now, that may not make sense all the time. Then you got to ask yourself, am I committed to me? Am I committed to my dreams? Am I committed to my beliefs? Am I committed to being the best version of me? Because while you're out here asking for someone else to commit to you, you haven't committed to yourself. So why would they want to commit to you? I don't think I would. So you have to first learn, how do I commit to me? And the way you commit to yourself is every day you look at your goals, you look at your plans, and you try to do something to better yourself every day. It doesn't have to be a lot. It could be a little bit. I remember that saying that excuses are like assholes. Everybody got one. And I used to get upset when someone would accuse me of making an excuse. Like, no, I'm not. I'm just stating a fact. Well, truth is that they were excuses. There's no reason to not commit to yourself. There's no reason to not pursue your dream, your goals. There is no reason to not be dedicated to your relationship. It's an excuse. Now, does that mean that it's not a valid excuse? Depends on you, and it depends on what you think. All I know is that the first level of commitment starts with you. You committing to yourself. So if you're out here dating and you're looking for commitment, make sure you look in the mirror and you ask yourself, am I committed to me? Do I love me unconditionally? Do I like the person that I am? Do I like how I look? Do I like how I dress? Do I like how I smell? After workout, I'm gonna tell you, I don't like how I smell. Oh my God, it's horrible. But that's another story. So I really want you to take the time to be honest with yourself. Because if you're looking for a commitment from any person and you're not committed to you, why would they commit to you? You don't even commit to yourself. It don't make sense. So the first high value person that you should look at is you. You create your own value, not society. Nobody can tell you what you're worth but you. So if you think you're valuable, you will be projected as valuable to those around you. And the level of commitment that you have for you will be amazing. So you got to commit to you first. Once you commit to you, I think that you'll find what you need and it won't be a problem whatsoever. And if you don't, keep trying. But don't be afraid to tell somebody what commitment looks like to you. And please try to understand why you need that form of commitment. Like, I am horrible. If I tell you I'm going to call you back, that might be a couple of days. It's not intentional. It's not that I don't value your time. It's that my brain is all over the place. Yep, that was an excuse. I didn't write it down and I didn't remember. But I'm not perfect and I don't try to be. But I'm committed to me first. And now you got to be committed to you. So I will say this in closing. The reason why somebody doesn't commit to you is because you haven't committed to you. Now, if you have committed to you, then you just have to wait for your time to come, but make yourself available. Make yourself available to people to see you. Make yourself available for conversations. Make yourself available for outings. I know you can do it. So let's go ahead and find that commitment that you deserve. I want to say thank you for listening to me today. If you're in Texas, you can go to www.mentalhealthdefenseandfitness.com to schedule an appointment with a mental health professional should you feel you need some mental health help. So thank you, beautiful souls, for joining me today on another enlightening episode of Soulful Sessions with Rory. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who might benefit. As we navigate the depths of introspection and explore the boundless possibilities of the human spirit, remember that your journey is uniquely yours. And every twist and turn is a sacred part of your story. Embrace the whispers of your soul and may the echoes of our conversations linger in your heart, sparking a flame of self-discovery. Until we meet again, in the realm of shared wisdom, stay true to your essence, stay connected to the rhythm of your soul, and always remember that you are a masterpiece in the making. Wishing you love, light, and infinite possibilities on your soulful journey. Until next time, this is Rory signing off with the gratitude and reverence for the magic that resides in each and every one of you.